Good afternoon and welcome to the COPS Tribal Methamphetamine webinar, a training and technical assistance series sponsored by Strategic Application International's Tribal Meth Fellows. My name is Shannon Nagel and I will be your moderator today. Today's topic is the Brother Eagle program. Before we begin, I need to let you know that this webinar service includes a feature that allows audio and any documents and other materials exchanged or viewed during the session to be recorded. By joining this session, you automatically consent to such recordings. If you do not consent to the recording, please disconnect from the webinar at this time. I would like to let our participants know that the audio portion of today's webinar will be available along with the accompanying PowerPoint presentation. These materials should be posted the first part of next week and will be accessible from the methpedia.org website under www.methpedia.org/cops-tribal-meth. You will find audio files and PowerPoint presentations of previous webinars in the series there as well. During the presentation from our speakers, you, the audience, will be in listen mode only. At the end of the guest presentation, you will have an opportunity to participate in a moderated question and answer session. Although our Q&A session will occur after the presentation, you may submit a question online at any time during the webinar. To submit a question for our presenters, please select the Q&A drop-down menu and type your question in the top box. Then click on the word Send on the bottom right-hand side of the box. At the end of the question and answer period, we will begin polling participants. Once the polling starts, the questions will appear in the right-hand panel under Polling. Attendees will then answer the polling questions and then click Submit. We would also like to note that the views of today's presenters are not necessarily the views of Strategic Applications International or the COPS Office, U.S. Department of Justice, which sponsors the COPS Tribal Methamphetamine Grants for 2010 and 2011. Again, our topic today is the Brother Eagle program. Our presenters are Nikki Deichman, an account executive with Results Unlimited in Fargo, North Dakota, and Randy Goodwin, the Public Safety Director and Chief of Police of the White Earth Nation in Minnesota. Welcome, Nikki and Chief Goodwin.
I would like to talk about who we are, the Brother Eagle program, the concept and background of the program, the details of it, how it is incorporated into schools, the evaluation process, the website for teachers specifically, and the value of it. The White Earth Police Department joined forces with Results Unlimited, a marketing agency in Fargo, North Dakota, to directly address the various negative influences that surround the children of the White Earth Nation. We created age-appropriate cultural videos and workbooks explaining the dangers of these negative influences and where to find help within the White Earth Nation. Some of the negative influences include bullying, physical abuse, sexual abuse, substance abuse, meth awareness, and prescription drugs. In 2011, the White Earth Tribal Council met to create a declaration, the Declaration of Public Health Emergency with respect to prescription medication and illegal drug use. Now I'm going to have Randy Goodwin, who is the Chief of Police and Public Safety Director, further expand on the background of this background and the concept, as he was the one that initially created this program.
Thank you, Nikki. My name is Randy Goodwin, and I am the Public Safety Director, Chief of Police of the White Earth Nation. And one of the missions that I was tasked with when I took over the position as a Public Safety Director and Chief of Police was to address our substance abuse issue that we had on the White Earth Nation. And we had some funding available through a COPS grant through the Department of Justice, and we had originally created a meth awareness video, and that was pretty much the birth of our Brother Eagle program. We had worked together with Results Unlimited, and in the creation of that first video DVD project, and that kind of spurred the concept of our Brother Eagle project. And as a result of the substance abuse issues that we were encountering on the White Earth Nation, and the fact that our tribal government decided that we needed to take some action, our tribal nation did create a public health emergency in regards to prescription pills and illegal drug use. And that just reiterated the fact that we needed to do something to break the cycle of substance abuse on the White Earth Nation. After some consultation and some visiting with some of our people on the White Earth Nation, I decided that the best way for myself to approach this issue, other than the traditional enforcement and education, was to create a video that we could get into our schools. And we decided, our tribal government and some of our directors decided that we needed to focus on our second and third graders with this video concept. As a result of that, we did reach out to Results Unlimited again, and we sat down and put together our Brother Eagle project. And as a result of that brought us to the point where we're at right now. Nikki?
Thanks, Randy. So this program addresses underlying issues of mental health, self-esteem, prescription drugs, and substance abuse. We are focusing on the youth of the White Earth Nation. We have incorporated key elements of TLC, which is tradition, language, and culture. We incorporated the Ojibwe language throughout the video. We've used a spiritual leader. His name is Mike Swan, at the beginning and end of each video chapter, and he translates the Ojibwe language throughout as well. We incorporated Eagle, which we named Brother Eagle, Eagle is very important to Ojibwe and the White Earth Nation. We created him as a positive icon to be used throughout the video series. We created him as a 3D animated character. He guides students to make the right choice throughout the video and is used at key points in the video to help keep the students' attention when presenting these mature topics to the students. Now I'd like to go into the program details. We first start out with the video pre-K and kindergarten. This is a 30-minute fully animated 2D video. We use animals to cover the following topics: bullying, good and bad medicine, good and bad touches, peer pressure, and building good self-esteem. The second grade video is a 60-minute segmented video covering the same topics but at their level. This video is broken out into 10-minute chapters. We have also included at the last chapter, the 6th chapter, a message from the White Earth Tribal Council, the program directors, and the Chief of Police, Randy Goodwin. This chapter is very important because it's called We Care. The We Care segment specifically talks to the children and how much they care about them and love them and want to help them. Next, we used local students to articulate the message. This was very important because we used local role models, and they're members of the White Earth Nation tribe. Their names are Nick and Quinn. And we also used footage and photos from the White Earth communities. We used local schools and students, landmarks in the communities, and this really helps personalize the message, and it helps the students feel special and identify with the topics that they're speaking about. The program was billed as a 6-week program where each week a segment of the video is covered by a teacher, a police officer, and a subject matter expert with the students. We also have, for each grade level, which is pre-K, 2nd and 3rd grade, 4th grade, and 7th grade, print pieces to go along with the video. Now I will show you the samples and clips of the videos and the workbooks. The first one is pre-K. And this is 3 minutes long.
You are strong. Get away. You can. You are smart. Get away. You can so. You are able to choose right from wrong. Get away. You can go OG. But the win.
Should Randy Raccoon tell Sly the Snake no and stand strong?
Sly the Snake, I am not throwing a rock at that beehive. It's wrong, and I could get hurt.
You're just scared. I dare you.
No, Sly the Snake, no. I know I'm right, and believe what my heart tells me.
Fine. I'm going to do it anyway. Watch this. Oh, no!
It's important to remember that medicine is not like other foods we put in our mouth. Sometimes the medicine may taste like candy or juice, but it is not. Always remember, medicine is not food.
Here, Freddy Fox. This is medicine. Take this to feel better.
Uh-oh. Sly the Snake just gave Freddy Fox some medicine.
That's right, Randy Raccoon. This is bad for many reasons.
Ha ha! Stinker! Stinker! Stinker!
Remember what we learned, Sammy Skunk? Don't let Sly the Snake make you mad.
Yeah, Sammy Skunk, you can do it.
Sorry, Sly the Snake. I'm not going to let you make me mad. I know I'm special, and I'm making the right choice to do what is right.
Oh, you're no fun. I'm so out of here.
Hi there. You guys are just in time. Sly the Snake said he found some cool stuff in his older brother's room.
What kind of stuff?
I don't really know for sure. This is a bottle of something. Ooh, maybe it's soda pop.
And look, I found a cigarette. Pretty cool, isn't it?
Uh-oh, this is definitely not a good thing. Most of us know what good touches are. When you hold hands with a friend or when someone you know tickles you, those touches feel good on our body.
I love the hugs my grandma gives me.
Good touches make our bodies feel good, and we're comfortable when they happen. Sometimes touches don't feel good in our body. These kind of touches scare us or make our bodies feel bad. These are called bad touches.
And that was clips of the pre-K video. Now I will show you workbook samples. We created a coloring book for the pre-K and kindergarten that they can color with, and we've incorporated the Ojibwe and language into it as well. Now I will show you the 2nd grade. This is also a 3-minute clip.
You are strong. Get away. You can. You are smart. Get away. You can so. You are able to choose right from wrong. Yahweh, Yikin, Goya, Oji, Wata, Ziwin. You are healthy. Yahweh, Kina, Da, We, Ziwim. You are good. Yahweh, Nano. You are special. Yahweh, Mita.
Sometimes you might see medicine that does not belong to you at home. Perhaps you see your grandma's pills on the kitchen table or dad's medicine in the bathroom.
Always remember rule number 4. Never take medicine that is not yours.
First of all, we know better than to take things that aren't ours, right? That's stealing, and we don't do that because it's wrong.
That's right. And second, taking someone else's medicine can hurt you. So what exactly are substances, and what is substance abuse?
The most important thing to know about substance abuse is that it is very dangerous and definitely not for children.
Let's start off by explaining what substances are. Substances can be alcohol, like beer, wine, and vodka. Alcohol is a drink that adults can purchase, but is definitely not for kids.
Other substances are drugs, like marijuana and meth, and both are illegal, which means that it is wrong for both children and adults to use them.
Most of us know what good touches are. When you hold hands with a friend or when someone you know tickles you, these touches feel good on your body.
That's right. There are many touches that my body likes, especially hugs from my grandmother or even kisses from my pet.
Good touches make our bodies feel good, and we are comfortable when they happen.
Sometimes touches don't feel good on our body. These kinds of touches scare us or make our bodies feel bad.
Being a healthy person means controlling our anger and not letting it take control. And when it comes to getting angry, choosing to remain calm can stop us from doing something bad, like hitting or throwing something.
Knowing what to do when we get angry is an important lesson that we should all learn.
One time I was angry because I couldn't figure out how to finish a puzzle I was working on.
What did you do?
Well, I grabbed the puzzle and threw it against the wall.
That doesn't sound good.
The second grade video is 60 minutes, and then these were clips taken from each of the segments. Now I will show you workbook samples from this particular grade level. This is the cover of the workbook, and we included activities within each chapter and a pre- and post-test within each chapter as well. This is the last page, which includes a DVD on the inside back cover for the students to take home after the course is completed. Next, I will show you the 4th grade.
Smart. Yahweh, Yikin Daso. You are able to choose right from wrong. Yahweh, Yikin, Goya, Oji, Wata, Ziwin.
First, let's go over bullying in general. Bullying is when you or someone you know is picked on over and over by one or more people.
Bullies tend to pick on kids to try and make them feel bad.
Some bullies will punch or hit. Sometimes they will call other kids names and tease them.
If someone is bullied over and over again, they can be scared or feel bad all the time, and that is never a good thing.
So what exactly is cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying is bullying that takes place using electronic technology. Electronic technology includes things such as cell phones, computers, and tablets, as well as communication tools including social media sites, text messages, chats, and websites.
What makes cigarettes so bad?
Cigarettes are made up of a bunch of really bad chemicals. One of the most dangerous ones of them is called nicotine.
Nicotine is a highly addictive substance, which means that your body keeps telling you to smoke even when you want to quit.
That sounds scary.
It is, Randy. Cigarettes are scary because they are so addictive and they can hurt our bodies in so many ways.
Remember when you were coughing just a little bit ago? That was a cigarette.
Cigarettes not only hurt our lungs, which help us to breathe, they have been found to hurt just about every part of our bodies.
Do you guys know what alcohol and marijuana is?
Alcohol is a substance, like beer, wine, and other liquors. Alcohol is a drink that adults can purchase, but is definitely not for kids.
Other substances are drugs like cigarettes, marijuana, and meth, and are bad for both adults and kids.
That cigarette Rosie thinks she has is not a cigarette at all. It's a drug called marijuana.
The most important thing to know about alcohol and drugs is that they can be very dangerous and are definitely not for kids. You should never take medicine that is not yours unless a trusted adult or doctor says it's okay.
Taking someone else's medicine can hurt you because it is special for them, and if you take it, you might get sick.
Whenever I'm sick, my parents give me medicine.
That's right, Freddie. And there's a reason for that. You should only take medicine from a trusted adult, like a caregiver or a doctor.
Do you know the difference between a good and a bad touch?
Yes, I've learned that good touches are touches that we like to feel, like a hug or a kiss on the cheek from a loved one. Bad touches make us feel uncomfortable and just don't feel right.
Take care of yourself and those around you.
On behalf of Brother Eagle and all of our forest friends, we'll see you later. The fourth grade section is also 60 minutes long in length, and it's broken up in 10-minute chapters. Next, I will show you the workbook sample, which is similar to the second grade as well, but is specific to the fourth grade. This as well has pre and post tests and also activities. Next, I will show you the seventh grade video.
Bonjour, Anine. My name is Irma Visner. I'm the tribal chairwoman of the Great Whiters Nation of Ojibwe Indians. I'm here to give a special, important message to you. I'm here to tell you how special you are, how important you are, how valuable you are, and how much you are loved.
Do you think it looks cool when you see someone smoking or chewing tobacco? Let me tell you, the effects of tobacco on your body are definitely uncool.
Tobacco contains a chemical called nicotine. Within 15 seconds of inhaling, the nicotine in the tobacco reaches your brain. Once there, it creates a feeling of pleasure.
Over time, if you continue to smoke or chew tobacco, your brain feels the need more and more to have that feeling of pleasure created by the nicotine. And like we said before, this is called an addiction.
Standing directly behind me are the various directors of the different programs of the White Earth Nation. It is our goal to provide you and your family with an environment that is free from drugs, alcohol, and violence. Miigwech.
I will keep you safe.
I'm here for you.
I'm here to help.
I believe in you. You are our future.
You can talk to me. I believe in you.
You can trust me. I'll keep you safe.
I'm here to help.
You won't always be in a good mood. There are going to be times when you get really mad, and that's normal.
It's how you deal with that anger that matters most. Remember, fighting, hitting, screaming, at the time it might make you feel a little better, but in the long run, those reactions might actually make you feel worse, because you could end up hurting the person you're mad at.
Or make a situation even worse than it was. So the next time you get mad, try one of these 3 techniques we discussed today, because not being mad is a much better feeling to have.
You are strong. Yahweh Gigitin. You are smart. Yahweh Yikin Daso. You are able to choose right from wrong. Yowe, Gingin, Goya, Oje, Mata, Ziwen. You are healthy. Yowe, Gina, Darwe, Ziwen. You are good. Yowe, you know. If you ever feel that something's not right, please talk to your family, teacher, or school counselor. Don't hold it in. Let them know how you feel. They want you to be happy because they all know you are special.
With the 7th grade section, we decided not to include a workbook, but instead a student planner, as we felt that would be more useful for the 7th graders, and it would be easier for them to use. So we worked with a company and had the calendar months with specific pages within it. So this is an example of the student planner. And it is specific to each school within the White Earth Nation. Next, because the White Earth Nation has incorporated this into the schools, the teachers have found this to be very beneficial. And now I'm going to share testimonials from teachers as they felt it was very important to them.
We had 20 second and third graders who participated in the program in our school.
At the time, I had some kids that were bullying in the 4th grade, and so I was real excited to hear that there was a program, and that was one of the topics that they were going to touch on.
It was a half-hour session, 6 times, so that was minimal time involvement. At our school, the presenters came in 2 times a week, so the program lasted 3 weeks, and the time frame was just right for us.
Sometimes parents don't want to talk about those topics because they're uncomfortable with them, and so then the children really don't have a way to learn about them either, and so it's really good that there's a program that will do that for us.
There's always a need for it, especially with the bullying that we are seeing in our society and in our schools. This was a way to help us deal with that and to teach children how to respect each other. Through Brother Eagle's presentation of some of the concepts, they were able to relate to the video and to what was said in the program.
He was their level of thinking, and he brought an aspect to them like a cartoon character, but he was still saying and the same things that the presenters were saying and touching base with everything that had been presented so far in the program. I really liked the idea that they had high school kids from the area speak, because I think that they're such huge role models for us, and we don't see a lot of that here. We hear all the negative things, but we never see those positive people, and it's so important for our young children to see positive people with positive outcomes, and I thought that was a wonderful aspect of the program. I think the video and the teenagers and Brother Eagle himself gave them a lot of good clues to what to do in certain circumstances, and I think some of the kids hadn't heard of the drug abuse or the safe touching. Some of them don't understand that as well, and I think those topics are really important to touch on.
I think it certainly provides a basis. It gives them a thinking point from which to start. How can I handle it when someone bullies me? What should I do? What should I be thinking? And how can I handle this in a positive way? This program is really about life and about society. So it's always going to be relevant and always going to be important, even from preschool age on up through adulthood. So it will always have a place at any level.
That covered the program details through all of the grades, and it also covered testimonials from teachers currently using the program. The next step I wanted to expand on is the evaluation process that we are doing. We are developing questionnaires to be given to teachers, and then the teachers will distribute it to the students that are participating in this program. From there, we have developed a website specifically for teachers, because teachers are key components for this whole process. The website is called Teachers Matter, and the website includes links to subject matter experts within their community. So if the teachers are presenting to the students and the students are asking the teachers questions and they don't have the answer to, or they need additional assistance with it, then the teachers will have access to that information, to program directors, to for if they have a question about substance abuse, they'll be able to have substance abuse coordinators. We are also incorporating an interaction feature for teachers. The teachers can directly interact with teachers through a blog format and ask them questions. The site is secure, so they can ask them questions, bounce ideas off of each other. So when they are presenting this program, different situations will come up, because with each classroom, each kid, each student comes from a different background. So of course the questions are going to be different. We are going to have a section to how to incorporate the program into each classroom, from frequently asked questions to how to do it from A to Z. And then also for the questionnaire and evaluation component, we are going to have a section for teachers to actually enter the data from the questionnaires that the students give them. So we will be able to track, and then also the teachers and the schools will be able to track the progress and making sure that the students fully understand the concept and that they're seeing a difference in their performance. The Brother Eagle program is incorporated into schools. Initially, Randy met with the Director of Education, and then from there met with the school administrators and then the teachers to incorporate this program into the classroom. The value to schools. We really feel that this is a valuable program, as it is ultimately creating change within the community of the White Earth Nation. This is really important because we want to affect the change within each community and each child. And if we can start young and start affecting their decisions, we can ultimately help them make positive changes the rest of their life. And that is today's webinar.
Thank you, Nikki and Randy. We'll look forward to hearing more during the upcoming question and answer portion of today's program. By way of reminder, you'll be able to pose questions to our presenters during the question and answer session, which will begin shortly. Before we take questions, immediately following the webinar, you will receive brief online evaluation or polling of today's webinar. Please take a few minutes of your time to assist us by providing your assessment and feedback. We really appreciate your input. If you have questions about the materials presented today that do not get answered in the moderated question and answer session, please email them to our presenters. And we have posted Nikki's contact information for you, so please feel free to jot that down. Now, at this point in the program, we're going to open the webinar for questions that have been submitted by the audience and ask our presenters to address them. As a reminder, to pose a question for our presenters, please select the Q&A drop-down menu and type your question in the top box. Then click on the word Send on the right-hand side of the box. Okay, Nikki, we have a question from one of the participants, and their question states, I know the evaluation has not occurred yet, but do you have any sense of how the program has been,
the feedback from the
of how the students have responded to the program?
I actually was able to sit in on one of the presentations, and the feedback from the students was amazing. They were interacting. They were asking additional questions when after the video and the workbook was presented to them. It was actually making them think about the subject matter at hand and relating it to their life. We were actually given thank you letters from the White Earth, from one of the schools participating in the program, and one of the little girls had said that this had directly affected her because she had just been recently exposed to one of her aunties passing away. So they're definitely thinking about all of this and helping them, try to put connecting the dots of what's right and what's wrong.
Okay. And the presentation that you had the opportunity to sit in on, what grade level was that?
It was, Randy, was that second or third grade?
That was a second grade presentation that you sat in on, Nikki.
Oh.
Okay. Great.
And if I could add just a little bit more to what Nikki had mentioned about the evaluation. We had at one of our presentations at one of our schools for the second graders, on the substance abuse portion, I had the opportunity to talk to the presenter after she had made her presentation, and this is what I was told from the presenter on the substance abuse issue, or the chapter is that the kids during this presentation had opened up so much that our presenter had a 45-minute drive back to work to her office and cried most of the way back because of what the second grade kids how they had opened up to her dealing with substance abuse and how it's affecting them in their lives. These are second grade kids that are opening up to a presenter in a school talking about substance abuse and how it's affecting them. We recently just finished our pre-K kindergarten video project and coloring book, and we had kind of sent it out into 3 different daycare centers, and I'm just now getting some feedback from those daycare providers. But what I have read in some of the feedback is the kids love it. The kids paid attention to the video. The kids, one of the comments was that the kids had asked the teacher if he could pick flowers from her flower bed because he doesn't want to be mad at his friend when he makes him mad. One of the little kids at our daycare provider actually went home and had discussed drinking with mom and dad, and told mom that she couldn't drink beer anymore. So it is opening up those dialogues and getting our young kids to talk about this stuff, and hopefully that's our goal is to hopefully break the cycle of substance abuse at a very young age.
Right. Now, Randy, as the police department, is sitting in on these presentations that are taking place in the school, do you actually have the opportunity for follow-up once the program is, as it's being implemented for the 6 weeks, or once the program is completed?
We haven't really implemented that yet, but as far as following up with the police department and the programs, we do have school resource officers in each of our in most of our schools on the White Earth Nation, and what we're starting to see is that as a result of these videos and these programs and the police officers assisting and going into the schools during the presentations is that trust and that rapport is beginning between the students and the police officer, the school resource officers, is really starting to develop, and the kids are actually able to approach the law enforcement officers and in a personal and friendly manner, and just being able to talk and communicate to the police officers. That's kind of what we're seeing happening and developing now, which, of course, in Indian country and law enforcement, that's very vital, to build that trust and rapport.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, we have another question from a participant. In this project, are there specific tools that were created to track or monitor the evaluation process that the teachers will use?
Yeah, we are in the process of developing those, but we are developing a questionnaire to be given to the teachers to be passed out to the students, and then also we're developing a teachers resource website called Teachers Matter, so they'll be able to enter the data, so we'll be able to track the progress of this program, and then for the teachers specifically, they'll be able to use that as an interaction tool between each teacher, and then also more resources for the community as well, so the teachers have all the resources at their fingertips when they're presenting this program.
Great. Okay. We have another question from a participant. The question states, I am from a Dakota tribe. What is the process to change the language, and what is the cost of this program to implement?
That is something that you can contact me after the call.
Okay, to discuss those specifics with our participant about their particular tribe?
Exactly.
Okay, great. Okay, we've got another question from a participant, and they wanted to know if they will have access to the slides that are being presented. Nikki, did you want to address that?
Actually, this is Sarah. We will be posting the entire presentation on our website. You can visit the website address. It's down at the bottom of the current slide, and the entire presentation and audio will be available as a video to watch online.
Great. Okay, we have a question for Randy. Randy, when you were beginning this process and planning this project, can you give us an idea of who that team was that you pulled from the community to help you develop this idea for White Earth?
Yeah, I certainly can. Originally, the idea and concept was between my Meth grant coordinator and myself. As far as it was outlined in one of the Meth grants that I had that there was going to be a video project done, and so we just kind of sat there and talked about it a little bit, and then I had a couple of other staff from my department that kind of got in on the conversation, and we just kind of talked about what can we do, how are we going to address this. And at the same time, our tribal government was, our leaders of our government were also approaching me on a different level as far as substance abuse into the, that were going on in the communities and across our White Earth Nation. So it was very evident that we needed to, create something to meet the needs of our grant, and also to meet the needs of our tribal council and our government and our communities. So we had kind of decided that we were going to create a video to talk about these subject matters, and hopefully, and we originally had started in about the 7th grade level. So we had kind of discussed this a little bit with Results Unlimited. Then we kind of went to we had a directors meeting, and I had asked our tribal government, our tribal council, to be at this meeting, and we had threw this idea out there, and it was kind of decided that this video probably should be targeted towards the younger kids, and that's kind of where it started from. And as a result of this, at the same time, our tribal council and some of our directors were meeting with each of our communities throughout the White Earth Nation to address and get input from our tribal, our people in our communities about substance abuse. So we actually had many listening sessions in our communities to address and bring out the substance abuse issue and what we needed to do to address this issue. And many of the things that we were hearing from our communities and the people was we need TLC, tradition, language, culture. We need to get back to that, to get to start the healing process. We were hearing so many of the same messages from the different communities that we decided that in order for us to create this video, we need to listen to the people, and that's exactly what we did. We created this video to incorporate those things that were being told to us over and over and over again, which was tradition, language, and culture. We reached out to one of our spiritual leaders, and he had agreed to be part of this program, and that's kind of how we got this program up and running. And since then, it's just kind of taken off, and we decided to expand it out to the pre-K kindergarten, the 4th grade, 7th grade, and we also are moving it on into the older kids, college-age kids, in a new program that we're going to be kicking off here, in the near future. So that's kind of how it started.
Great. Okay. We have another question for you, Randy, from a participant. Do you think this program could be incorporated into a prevention program or a summer youth program?
I would think that it certainly can. I would say yes. As far as a prevention plan, yes, it is, because I also sit on some of our wellness teams, with our youth, and what we're seeing from our wellness teams and the kids that we have in our wellness programs is that we're addressing the same issues with them as tradition, language, and culture. So yes, it certainly can be incorporated. And one of the other things that we're trying to, or how we're going to incorporate this program into our communities on a different level, is we have our tribal council has created we call it a traveling carnival, where we have every weekend we go into a different community and set up a traveling carnival that's consisting of bouncy houses and stuff like that. And this here is how we are going to incorporate this program into our communities, is to start showing this video at each of these communities, so that the kids can walk by and watch the video a little bit and then go play and do whatever they need to do. So yes, it can be, and we are starting to make that happen. It's just we're just really learning ourselves on how to really incorporate this and get this program up and running. So the answer to that question would be, in my opinion, yes, it would be a very good preventative program, and also it can be incorporated into summer youth.
Okay. Another question for you, Randy. With it being a 6-week program, is this something that is introduced in the schools early on in the year? Or do you do it, is there a particular time of year within the school calendar that you guys do the program?
We have done the program both in the beginning of the school year and at the end of the school year. And what we are finding is that if it's in the beginning or at the end of the school year, the kids' attention is still there. We actually had one of our schools, one of our classes where the kids were allowed opportunity. Well, let me back up. The school did not offer any Ojibwe language class for the young kids. So what the teacher did is she took our video and played just the beginning of the video with the language. And that's what she had. That's how this teacher had incorporated our our language, our Ojibwe language, into the school. And when we made our presentation out there, our Chapter 6, our We Care presentation, it was unbelievable to see all of these kids in this classroom speaking Ojibwe, you know. And what she also was doing was that she was printing out the Ojibwe language and posting them up on the board so that when they are in the hallways and the kids would walk by and they would see it and say it and they knew what it was. The kids were also in the same classroom were given opportunities during lunch that if they were behaving themselves during a specific day, they would, you know, during lunchtime, they could bring their lunch back to their classroom and watch a video, any video that they wanted. And the kids at class were choosing our Giveaway program, our Giveaway video. So they would go down to the lunchroom, get their lunch, bring it back to their classroom, and they were requesting our Giveaway program. That's what they wanted to watch during during the time when they were able to pick any video or any movie they wanted to watch. During their choice, they wanted to watch our Giveaway program.
Okay. We have another question from a participant. Sarah, are you able to open it up?
Yes, it looks like we have a question from Leonard Wallner. Leonard, I'm going to unmute you so you can pose your question. I don't know if he may be having some technical difficulty. So if you want to continue the Q&A, then I'll get back to Leonard and see if he's still there.
Okay. Yes, he wanted to be able to ask you his question directly, so we will see if we can open it back up for Leonard. So, okay, do we have any more questions for our presenters? And we have a question from Nikki. In working with the White Earth Nation on this project, can you give us an idea of how long the process took from planning to the production of that first video?
It took, for this program, it took over a year from the planning stage to the production of it to the final piece of it. This is a pilot program and a brand new concept, so a lot of time and thought went into it.
Okay, and in many of the tribes that are working with SAI as grantees, many of them are, in remote locations. Did you go to White Earth to film like the pieces, with the high school students?
Correct. Our people went out there and video shot all of the White Earth, went into the schools, and we went into the White Earth tribal headquarters, and those are key places and different communities.
Okay, so it's very personalized, it sounds like, and you worked very, very closely with them in producing this project.
Yep. Great. And now it would be, now that we have the basic concept of it done, it would be 8 weeks to do each video.
8 weeks per video, okay. And how about the production of the books?
That would be more of a 4 to 6 week process. 8 week time frame as well. It would all be done at the same time.
Okay. Sarah, were we able to connect with Leonard so he could pose his question?
Let me try one more time. Leonard, again, this is for Leonard Wallner, who posted a request to ask a question. Leonard, you are unmuted, so if you would like to post your question now, just go ahead and speak into the phone.
Okay, I'm not sure if Leonard is having some technical difficulties. Please take a look at the screen, Leonard, and there is all of our contact information. Feel free to email us your question, and we can make sure that that does get answered. Oh, he just posted. He said his question was answered. Well, great. And I encourage you, to reach out if there's anything else that you think of, any questions that you may have for our presenters. On behalf of SAI, our Meth Fellows, and the COPS office, I would like to thank Nikki and Randy today and our audience for taking the time to join us. If you have any additional questions related to this call, please send an email to our presenters, Nikki Deichman or Chief Randy Goodwin, and their contact information is there on the slide. Second, we've also listed the location on the Methpedia website where the audio recordings and PowerPoint presentations will be located should you or someone you know wish to access them later. And the location is there at the bottom of the slide. On behalf of SAI, we want to thank you, and this concludes today's training and technical assistance webinar.
I'd also like to encourage everybody to take just a few moments to fill out the poll that's appeared on the right-hand side of the screen. There are only 5 questions, and if you'll just fill those out and hit submit, we would be very grateful. Thank you.